still con contemplations on the 12 reasons of life, and this type of methods they believe on the mind, and they train their mind to practice. And in the third one of methods in practice is bodhisattva methods, and in this they use the 6 aspects of practicing based on a this one they will use the practice to stay away from one thought of ignorance, and they use the 6 methods of practice to reach the Buddha nature. And the last one in practicing methods is the patriot sense, and this one they use the Huatou to the practice, asking questions and raising doubts. And this one the practitioner will practice only. There's no attachment to anything. So out of the 4 ways of practicing in Buddhism, as with K Zen Master explained, it's just like a different parts of a coat. Or it's just practice to go back to the Buddha nature. So the first one is the belief in things, in materials. The second one is believing in the mind, one thought of ignorance. And the third one is bodhisattva, and they believe in the bodhisattva will believe in things or the materials and the mind unite together. And the last one, which is the patriot Zen, and this one is the no attachment to either of the materials or the mind. So in order to understand the Buddha or the patriot meanings, you must practice. The more you practice, the more you understand and you realize the meaning behind all these words or the means that the Buddha or the patriarch used to explain about the methods of practice. So all things, materials, or all dharmas created by the mind. So everything in this life is created by the mind. So all the realms in this universe, the heaven life, the people, the animals, the ghost, and the hellish life. These are the 6 realms of life in this universe. So everything in this universe are the dualistic ways of thinking created by your mind. So the ultimate ways of practice, when you get to the ultimate ways of practice, you will stay away from all these dualistic thinking of your mind. And all those practice that the Buddha used have a direct and indirect methods. The only direct methods of practice is a patriarch Zen. All other methods, they use the contemplations, which have subjective and past objectives and contemplations on certain things to practice. When you use the direct methods, you have to believe in your own Buddha nature, and you just practice and go back to your Buddha nature. If you believe in your Buddha nature, you just start the practice and ask the questions, raising doubt. You believe in your Buddha natures is you believe yourself have ability just like a Buddha. You have the ability to get enlightenment. You get the ability to help all other people to get rid of suffering like a Buddha. So one example is to understand this method is just like when you spinning your body and you feel like everything around you spinning. The house is spinning, the tree is spinning, and everything spinning around you. you feel like that because your body is spinning. And when you stop spinning your body, now everything stops. So this example that you can realize that the feelings that of everything spinning around you, it's because of your body is spinning. And when you stop spinning, your body is, you're using the methods to stop your body from spinning, and you have the feeling that everything stop spinning, but everything around you never spins because your body is spinning, so you feel like everything's spinning. And now when you use the method to practice and you feel your body stops spinning and you feel everything around you stop spinning, everything around you never stops spinning because they never spin. Another example is just like when you sit on a boat which is rowing along the riverside, and you feel like a riverside is moving when you sit on the boat, the moving boat. And the riverside never moving. It's just because you sit on the boat and your body is moving along with the boat, and you have a feeling like a riverside is moving, but the riverside never moving. So these are just like the example that I mentioned earlier, as you're spinning your body and you see everything surrounding you spinning. So in Vinyak Sutra, the Buddha had the poem to teach all the disciples, his disciples, that when you see everything is illusions, you leave the thinking of everything is real. And when you realize everything are just illusions, you just stop your thinking and don't use that stop the thinking as the method to practice. It's just your habit of thinking that's like you spinning your body. The thinking make your body spin. That's why you have that feeling that everything surrounding you spinning. So that's why you feel like there is birth and death because of the body spinning, and you have that kind of feeling. But when you stop your body from spinning, then you will realize that everything around you never spin. So now it's not because of it's not because everything around you spinning then you practicing. It's just because your body is spinning, then you just have to stop your body from spinning by practicing. So in the Patriarch Zen, we use the Huatou to practice asking questions and raising doubt. You don't need to answer the questions because these questions have no answer. You use a question just to raise doubt, and use the doubt will automatically erase or get rid of all those thoughts arising in your head for you. So for example, one of the questions that we use to practice is, before heaven and earth came to existence, what was I? Okay, so you just keep asking the questions, and eventually the doubt will be there, will be arising from your questions, and this doubt will help to automatically erase all those thoughts arising in your head. Okay, so in practicing the Huatou method, you have to train yourself to practice in all situations. You try to practice. Eventually, when you can practice in 24 hours continuously, this will help you to reach the roots of the thinking, and when you reach the root of all thinkings, you will be able to have the doubt continuously, and this will help to break open that root of thinking, and you will realize your own Buddha nature. So during the process of practicing, you will be able to realize and believe in your own Buddha nature more. So the belief in your Buddha nature is very important in this practice. The Patriarch Zen first requirement is to believe in your own Buddha nature. So the more you practice, the more you believe in your Buddha nature. And this belief in your practice, when you're asking questions and raising doubt, the more doubt you have, the closer that you can reach enlightenment and see your Buddha nature. So Huyen Giác, Zen master, is also have a teaching that explaining about the level of your practice. At first, he explained that the mind have no attachment to anything. So it's just like a hand. When you don't hold your hand to anything. Don't hold anything in your hand. Then you can use your hand for all the activities. But if your hand is holding something and keep holding on that object, then your hand, you cannot use your hand anymore. So the second explanation is that he explained, if you don't hold anything in your hand, but you just make a fist, you have nothing inside of your hand, but because you're making up the fist, and when you make a fist and you don't extend or open your fist, you cannot use your hand for any activities. So that's still not a right way to practice. So when you have a practice that have the objective and subjective going along with the practice, just like when you're doing the contemplations, you must use your mind, your thinking about certain things. So one is a subjective and one's an objective, and this kind of methods couldn't get you to the ultimate practice. So you just like your mind attaching to other things, and it becomes your mind attaching to an objective of contemplations, and that is still have a subjective and objective in practice. When you're not holding on anything and you're making a fist, it's also you cannot use your hands to do other things. So this is just like you use your mind to contemplate on emptiness, and that is also not the ultimate way to practice to reach a Buddha nature. So now the last explanation that Vĩnh Gia Zen master teaching his disciple is to release everything from your hands, which means you let your hands free from anything that you're holding to something to make your hands actions. You have to release after that. When you make a fist, you have to open your fist, and your hand now will establish its useful actions, so it can do anything. It can do anything without holding to certain things or making a fist. So when you have your hand unattached on anything or the emptiness, then your hands will have its own use, and it's very, very useful to do everything with your hands, not attaching to anything. So the explanations from Huyền Giác Zen Master or Vĩnh Gia Zen Master is the way to show you to go back, to practice to go back to your own Buddha nature. So that is the purpose of practicing the Patriarch Zen using the Huatou and raising doubt. So one also important aspect of practicing is you have to detach yourself from all the thinkings. So the ultimate way to detach yourself from all the thinking is raising doubt by asking the questions, and the doubt will sweep away all these thinking for you. Just like Hu Van Zen Master gave an example that the Huatou is just like a cane to help a cripple to walk. Okay, so we are the cripples who need a cane to walk, but the cane is not the goal for you to reach, but it's only a mean for you to walk toward your goal when you are a cripple. So this is just the explanations in this just an explanation for this practicing of Patriarch Zen. So if now you have any questions or any problem during the 3 days of retreats, you can ask questions, or you want to share your experience in you please explain a little more about the word doubt. So let me give you an example. So let me ask you these questions. I want you to answer my questions when I ask you. Before the heaven and earth came to existence, what was you? So she said that she doesn't know. So when you don't know the answer for your questions, that is the doubt already arisen from asking the questions. So doubt is just a feeling of not knowing and want to know but still not knowing. And that creates a feeling that you want to know but you don't know the answer, and that will create the doubt. So just like Hoàng Bá, when he hit Lâm Tế, when Lâm Tế went to ask him questions about what is the core of Buddhism, and Hoàng Bá just hit him heavily, and he just raising his doubt right away. Why I'm asking the questions and I got beaten really bad, and 3 times like that, and he has a really heavy doubt until he leave the monastery and go and see Đại Ngu Thiền Sư, Đại Ngu Zen Master, and Đại Ngu help him to get enlightenment. And get enlightenment is just like seeing your own Buddha nature. You realize your own Buddha nature. So if you want to have a heavy doubt, you have to keep asking the questions and raising doubt. And this practice eventually will make you believe in yourself more, believe in your Buddha nature more, and keep practicing more and more until you realize your Buddha nature. So the more you practice, the more you will get rid of all the thoughts arising in your head. So it's just like everyone can criticize you and you don't pay attention to their criticism. Everything can happen around you, but you don't pay attention to everything around you because you pay attention to the doubt and keep asking the question and raising doubt. The doubt will automatically sweep away everything reaching you, everything surrounding you, and helping you to get rid of all those thoughts that are rising in your head. Okay, so this is the way that we practice, and this is when you reach the ultimate goal, which is reason down, realize your Buddha nature. You will stop all the suffering. Practitioner and new practitioner ask questions that he been practicing this since yesterday, and he feel like he has less illusions or delusions in his mind when asking the questions. So now he want a little more encouragement from the master to motivate him to practice. So when a person who don't pay attention to everything around them. It can be a person who just like a students who studying and he want to solve the problem, a math problem, for example, and he just keep thinking about his problem, how to solve the problem, and he forget about everything around him. Okay, so the feeling is exactly the same when you're raising the doubt in practicing the Zen patriarch. So when you're raising doubt, the one thing difference is that you don't need to answer the questions, because the questions you ask have no questions, no answer. So when you pay attention to that doubt, then eventually you will not pay attention to everything around you. Okay, so just like a teacher teaching students to study, they will recommend a student that to find a quiet place and try to focus on their studying and don't pay attention to any other things surrounding. So now it's the same that I will recommend to you that you have to pay attention to the doubt from asking the questions. So eventually you will not pay attention to. So the booklet how to practice the Patriot Zen, when you read the book, and you will realize and understand the way of practice. But when you understand the practice, you the question is how to recognize the real doubt and the improper doubt. So the booklet also explain about this. So when you doing a practice, when you asking the questions and you having questions asked, and if you have the answer for your questions, that is improper doubt. When you asking questions and keep having answers for your questions, that is, you cannot create a doubt. And if you have a doubt, that is an improper doubt, because you have the answer. Okay, so when you have a doubt like that, it can put you into the dualistic world again. So the Huatou, the questions that we provided, there's no answer for those questions, but it's only a mean for you to raise doubt And if you have any answer for that, the answer is not the right answer anyway. So you have to stay away from all those answers, to get the doubt only. And looking at the doubt right there, you want to know the answer, but you couldn't get the answer. Then that will create a doubt for you. So don't run after all those answers if you have any during the practice. Okay, so when you have a doubt that have no answer like that, it's a real doubt, the proper doubt that we use to practice in this method. So all these are just explanations for the methods of practicing the Patriot Zen. So now you have to start your practice and get used to the practice, and eventually you will feel, has an experience of your practice, and you get familiar with all these way of explanations, and you will have your own explanations when you hear this Dharma talk. But all these Dharma talk is only to help you to believe in the methods and go back to the practice. So the more you practice, the more you will have doubts, and when you can keep that doubt 24 hours, you will get closer to your Buddha nature. So practicing is the most important things that you can get back to Buddha nature. So keep practicing. Could you please explain what does it mean by a small doubt will give you the small enlightenment, and the big doubt or the ultimate doubt will give you the ultimate enlightenment? So the Patriot teaching the disciples that you need to raise doubt in order to get enlightenment. Small doubt will get a small enlightenment. Big doubt or ultimate doubt will get you the big or ultimate enlightenment. If you don't have doubt, you won't get enlightenment. So like a Buddha explained in the Heart Sutra that you have to practice in order to experience what you said. So you said you can talk the talk, but you have to walk the walk. So if you just talk the talk and you don't walk the walk, then you'll never reach your destination. So when you practice the Patriot Zen, you must ask the questions and raise in doubt. So all the patriots, they've been practicing for their whole life, and they already reached the big doubt. So they explain about the big doubt and small doubt to us. But we just understand about the big doubt and small doubt, and we don't practice, we won't really understand the meanings after the big doubt and small doubt. So you must practice in order to understand the real meaning. Now I just explained to you, but you must practice. So one of a explanations of the enlightenment is like a dream that you had at night when you go into sleep and you having all these dream. At this time you can see that your mind created all of these realms that you have in your dream. But when you wake up from your dream, you realize that everything in your dreams are not real. So you get enlightenment. It's just like that. You realize everything is not real. That is a explanations for enlightenment when you close your eyes and go to sleep and you're dreaming. But now we are in the open eyes and still dreaming. We are waking, but we still dreaming because at this time your mind creating everything that you can see surrounding you. You can feel or you can realize everything using your six senses. So now all those are just illusions created by your mind, but you don't believe those are not real. So that's why the Buddha and patriarchs using the means for you to practice. So until you can be awakened from this open eye dreaming, then that is you will realize once again everything are just an illusion. They are not real, and that is the enlightenment. So in one of the sutra that Mahakayip asking Buddha about what is the difference between a common person and a wise practicing person. Because they both see everything surrounding them and call everything by their names. But why a wise man is not attaching to everything, but a commoner is attaching to everything. So Buddha said the differences between a wise man and a commoner is because a commoner see everything around them and they attach themselves to everything, and they thought everything surrounding them are real things. So they creating the attachment to everything surrounding them. But a wise man, the practitioner, they seeing everything the same like a commoner, but they never attach themselves to all these things because they know that everything are just an illusion of your mind, and everything are just created of your mind. They are not real. So when you're practicing, a small doubt will make you realize or get a small enlightenment. Big doubt will get you to the ultimate enlightenment, which means you awakened from your dream. Another question that she asked is, could you please give another example for the one thought of ignorance? So, what is ignorance? I've been hearing about this a lot from the Dharma talks from many others monks, but I still not really understand what is the one thought of ignorance. This is, of course, you go in and hear all these Dharma talk from many monks and many masters, and you might understand or don't understand about any concepts, but if you practice, and eventually when you practice and practice, you will eventually realize the meanings behind all those thoughts. So different people are going to have different way to approach Buddhism and the practice of Buddhism. Different methods, different people, depends on how much attachment that I had. Then they're going to choose the proper method to practice. So just like a story of Buddha and a Lahola. Buddha realized that not all people will give you a understanding of what the meanings of certain things. So you must have a certain people will have certain people to understand, but Lahola is the one that can help the old ladies, not Mukhin Mahakayip, or any others disciples, because that only Lahola can